Once upon a time in a faraway land, there lived a poor woodcutter named Ali Baba. Ali Baba had a younger brother named Kasim. Kasim was a kind-hearted young man, but he was also a bit of a fool. One day, Kasim was cutting wood in the forest when he came across a strange cave. The entrance to the cave was concealed by some large rocks, and Kasim's curiosity got the better of him. He pushed aside the rocks and found that the cave was filled with gold and jewels. Kasim was overjoyed and quickly filled his bag with as much treasure as he could carry. Then he ran away as fast as he could, afraid that someone might catch him stealing. When Kasim reached home, he emptied his bag of jewels onto the table, and Ali Baba was stunned by what he saw. Kasim told his brother everything about the cave, and together they made a plan to go back and steal more treasure. However, this time, Ali Baba decided to take precautions. As they were leaving for the cave, Ali Baba told Kasim, "If anyone asks us where we are going, just say we are going to the river to bathe." Kasim agreed, and off they went. On their way to the cave, they met an old woman who asked them where they were headed. Kasim, remembering what Ali Baba had told him, replied, "We are on our way to the river to bathe." The woman smiled and said, "It sounds like a lovely plan. But if you're going to bathe, why have you brought all that wood with you?" Kasim was taken aback by the question, but before he could think of a reply, Ali Baba quickly intervened. He said, "We're going to build a boat to sail down the river." The woman nodded, seemingly satisfied with the answer, and went on her way. Ali Baba and Kasim continued on to the cave, and this time they managed to fill not one but 2 bags with treasure. On their way back, they knew that they couldn't possibly carry that much stuff and still maintain their cover story. So they hid the bags in a nearby bush and returned home empty-handed. The next day, Ali Baba and Kasim went back to retrieve the treasure. However, they soon realized that someone had stolen one of their bags. Ali Baba was furious and vowed to find the thief. He took the remaining bag of treasure and went out into the city, where he hired 40 men to help him in his search. Together, they searched high and low, but they couldn't find the thief or the stolen treasure. Just when Ali Baba was about to give up hope, one of his men approached him and said, "Master, I think I know where the thief has hidden the treasure." The man led Ali Baba to a nearby mountain, and sure enough, they found a hole that had been dug out from inside the mountain. Ali Baba and his 40 men entered the hole and found the stolen treasure. They also found the thief, who turned out to be none other than Kasim. In a fit of rage, Ali Baba and his men beat Kasim up and took him back to the city. There, Ali Baba threw Kasim into prison, intending to have him put to death the next day. That night, while Ali Baba was asleep, Kasim's wife came to him in a dream and begged for her husband's life. Kasim's wife explained that Kasim had only stolen the treasure because he wanted to impress Ali Baba and show him that he, too, could be of use. Kasim never intended to keep the treasure for himself and was willing to give it all back. Moved by this, Ali Baba forgave his brother, and the 2 brothers retrieved the rest of the treasure from the mountain. From then on, Ali Baba and his 40 men became the wealthiest people in the city. Ali Baba shared his wealth with everyone, and he and his brother lived happily ever after. The end. Now, let's think about the story. What was the main problem in the story? It was that Kasim stole some treasure that didn't belong to him. What lesson do you think the author is trying to teach us through this story? It is that stealing is wrong. Stealing is wrong. No matter how poor you are, you should not steal. If you steal, you will never be happy. Now let's look at some words from the story. Can you use any 3 of these words in a sentence of your own? Build, treasure, forgive. That's all for today. See you tomorrow!